from the book of the Nazarene. When Yahusha called Matthew, Matthew invited him to his house to eat. And when he arrived there was a whole bunch of other tax collectors there with him. So Yahusha said, "No man of himself can know right from wrong, for what is right in one man's eyes may be wrong in another's. Therefore strife arises among them. Only when men accept a single standard of judgment and abide by it can there be peace. When men live together without the light of the Torah, they are like a house built with unmortared bricks, or like men trying to row a boat, but all pulling in different directions. There are two laws, the law of men and the Torah of the Father who is in heaven. When I speak of the Torah, I do not mean the law of men. I am the light illuminating Yahuwah's Torah, so men see it more clearly. And though I fulfill the Torah, I do not change it. Never say this is right or that is wrong, but only this is right or wrong according to the Torah and in the light of Yahusha. I bring new oil for the lamp of the Torah, for that within it is now impure, and the light produces too much obscuring smoke. The Torah was now impure because the Pharisees were interpreting it and holding the traditions of men above it, just like the church today is holding their traditions of men above keeping Torah and telling the people, basically indoctrinated it into the people that no one could keep the Torah, which is an out-and-out lie. A little bit later, the man with the withered hand comes up to him to be healed, and Yahusha sees some Pharisees standing nearby. So he calls them over and he says to them, "Let me know your views concerning the keeping of the Shabbat. Should good be done when it would be uncharitable to leave it undone?" And they said, "We abide by the Torah as it is interpreted for us by those knowing better than we." At this, Yahusha became angry and was hurt in his heart, for their hard-heartedness and wrongful interpretation of the Torah were indications of their spiritual apathy. So he healed the man's arm, and the self-righteous see no wrong in themselves, only in others, and they interpret all things to accord with their own convenience. Then the self-righteous ones left plotting among themselves, and they decided to become supporters of Herod, who was against Yahusha. They said, "Let us set a trap for this troublemaker who condemns our ways. He reproaches us for wrongdoing when we simply obey the Torah, and accuses us of things which he declares to be sinful, but which are not more than natural weaknesses of men." And it just makes me think that if he showed up today, the Christian church would do the same thing that the Jews of his day did, and that they would turn him over to the authorities if it was in their power, because they are so hard-hearted. And I'm talking about the ones that run the church, not the people in it. They think they have it all. They think they know everything, just like the Pharisees. So the Pharisees continued on and they said, "He proclaims himself to be the mouthpiece of Yahuwah. So let us test him and see. Let us find out whether he speaks true or false. We will send men to beat him up and see then whether Yahuwah comes to his aid. Let other men abuse him and hurl insults at him, heaping every kind of indignity upon him, treating him roughly to test his gentleness. We will heckle him and cause commotion whenever he speaks, and see whether he abides by his own teachings under provocation." Boy, guys, you, my fellow Mishpachah who are making videos, does that sound like what happens with us? They laid their plans, however. There were others who came to Yahusha and asked him how they would recognize the deliverer when he appeared among them. And Yahusha said, "Is it not written, he will judge the disinherited and lowly who trust in him? He will smite the earth with the rod of his tongue and destroy wickedness. He will be girdled with integrity and belted with trustworthiness." Then some said, "Surely this man is Yahuwah's anointed." And someone said, "Master, how do we know the deliverer will come to us?" And Yahusha said, "Is it not written, he will come to the worthy and just, but to the people he will be like a winnowing fan, ensuring only the best are gathered in. It is also said, he will bless those who follow him with wisdom and gladness. He will be sinless, gathering together a dedicated people whom he will lead in righteousness as an example to all nations. They will cast out the ungodly from their midst. Those born in the days of the deliverer will witness the things he will do for the generations which follow. Is it not also written, the words of his mouth will smite the earth forever, and for the chosen among men there will be a guiding light for the rest of their days. Now, please tell me your opinion below. Will the church of today recognize the Messiah when he shows up? Shalom Mishpach.